Alright, welcome back. This is part 3 of the series that I'm calling Fixing Pokemon, or whatever I'm calling it. In reality, that's not exactly what I'm doing. What I'm specifically doing here is making it so that all the evolution lines in Pokemon, their color palettes match up, which arguably is fixing them just so that they look more similar, but as some people have pointed out, sometimes the results aren't as good as the original Pokemon, so I shouldn't call it that, but I'm calling it anyway because it sounds better than whatever else I would call it. That would probably end up being too long. Anyway, this video is the Hoenn region, and if you were mad at the past 2 videos, first of all, oops, I'm sorry. Second of all, trust me, these ones look a lot better. I don't know why, because I'm using like the same like concept as I was doing in the other videos. I guess it's just that the colors on Hoenn Pokemon look better than Kanto and Johto Pokemon or something, so the results here look better, at least if you ask me. But also, I took on a new strategy, kind of, where not only am I giving the final evolutions the color palettes of the first evolutions, but I'm also giving the first evolutions the color palettes of the final evolutions, because obviously most of the time the final evolutions have more complex color palettes, so maybe some people's problem was that they look worse because they're more simple afterwards. So this is also showing the more simple dudes with more complex colors. Anyway, now that I'm done yapping, here's the Torchic line. As you can see, Torchic has Blaziken's colors. I do have to say, I almost like this more than regular Torchic. Actually, I think I do like this more than regular Torchic. It honestly conveys the entire fire type vibe more. It looks like it's actually like a living flame as opposed to just all orange. Combustion of Torchic's colors, it's alright, and Blaziken's also alright. I mean, I like the eyes, because Torchic's eyes are like an inverse of Blaziken's eyes. Blaziken's eyes are actually human-like with the white sclera, or whatever you call the white part, but Torchic, it's black with white pupils. And that honestly looks good on Blaziken, just because it makes it look more menacing. Moving on, we've got Zigzagoon and Linoon. Linoon with the colors, it looks alright. It looks a little more menacing, which is, I just said that about the other one. Zigzagoon with Linoon's colors, though, I guess you could say the regular one's better. However, I do have to say, I like the blue eyes more than its regular brown eyes. Aside from that, nothing too noteworthy of these two. Here we have the Swampert line, and I skipped out on the Trico line because not much really changed. Mudkip with Swampert's colors, the main thing that changes is just that its eyes are orange now, which doesn't look too bad. And then Marshtomp and Swampert, as opposed to having like regular eyes, they get black eyes with white pupils, because Mudkip also has that, like Torchic did. It looks a little goofy on Marshtomp, but Marshtomp's already a pretty dumb-looking Pokemon. Swampert honestly sports it kind of well because, again, it makes it look menacing and cool. And also their little fins become white, which honestly looks kind of cool as well. Moving on, we've got Mightyena. I didn't give Poochyena Mightyena's colors because Photoshop was being stupid and not working for some reason when I tried to do that. However, this is Mightyena with Poochyena's colors. This one I do have to say, the regular looks a little better, but this isn't terrible. Moving on, I did the Wurmple line twice, because it has 2 different evolution paths. This is the one half, so you got Silcoon and Beautifly of Wurmple's colors. Honestly, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you've hated on the last videos, that Beautifly is epic. If that was the real colors, or just the shiny, that would be really cool, because I do think that looks really cool. And it honestly looks better than regular Beautifly, if you ask me, mainly because it looks more unique and not just like a regular butterfly. Wurmple with Beautifly's colors doesn't look too bad either. Like, it's not anything too extreme. Anyway, moving on, we've got the same thing again, but with the Dusknox line, or that side of the family. The Wurmple of Dusknox colors, this looks a little extreme. This one I'm not a fan of, but I did it just to show it off. The Beautifly one was a lot better. Cascoon here, pretty much the same as Silcoon because they are pretty much the same thing. And Dustox looks pretty good as well. I mean, it's like the more sinister looking of the two final evos for this line, so sporting the red color, it honestly looks cooler, you could say. Anyway, here's the Ludicolo line. I am stuttering so much. Lotad with Ludicolo's colors. Not much really changes other than its skin becoming yellow instead of purple. Wow, I don't know my colors now. Yellow instead of blue. Lombre and Ludicolo, though, they take on a slightly different color palette. Mainly Ludicolo, it loses all that yellow that it randomly has. These don't look too bad. I mean, they look more... I actually don't really know what to say about them. You let me know what you think, or not, if you even watched this far. Moving on, we've got Surskit and Masquerain. Masquerain, at the same time, I have two different opinions about it. First of all, overall, I kind of like its regular form more, but at the same time, this colors for it, it kind of conveys something that you might not notice at first, but like, if you look at the little fake eyes, it almost kind of looks like a sunset or like a sun setting on the horizon, which is pretty cool. And also its head looks more like a raindrop now, since it's blue with Surskit's colors. So that's pretty cool. However, I do like its regular colors more in spite of that. Surskit, though, I honestly think this looks pretty cool. It's kind of like an inverse of its shiny colors. It's white instead of black. I honestly like this more than its regular blue. Moving on, we've got the Nuzleaf line, or he's the middle. I don't know why I used him as the guy. Nuzleaf actually looks pretty cool. The gray instead of the green for the leaf looks a lot more like mysterious, since it is like a ninja type of thing, and the eyes with the yellow pupils and black surrounding it is a lot more menacing than the white. With the black, C-Dot looks alright, and Shiftry is also pretty cool. But honestly, Nuzleaf here, I personally think that looks really good. Then, we have Breloom and Shroomish. I'm not going to talk about these too much, because I don't even know why I included this one. This one didn't come out too good. This is the only one that didn't really come out too good in the whole video, so don't worry. I mean, Shroomish just kind of looks like it's shiny, and Breloom is just I'm just going to move on from that. Here's Slaking with Slackoff's colors. It doesn't change too much, but at the same time, it's not too bad, I guess. I took a little creative liberty with this one and made his eyebrows a different color so that he looks more grumpy and old, which is kind of what his character is supposed to convey. Moving on, we've got the Whismur line. Loudred and Exploud didn't really change much. They just got slightly lighter, which I think is just their shiny colors, if I'm not mistaken. Whismur, though, honestly looks pretty cool with the darker colors that Exploud has. Then we've got the whole Nincada line. So I obviously did Nincada twice for both of its evolutions, because it's like not really a branched path. I don't know what you really call it for Nincada's case. With the Ninjask colors, it honestly looks like a little bumblebee, which is pretty cute and cool. With Shedinja's colors, it looks a little bland, honestly. But the Ninjask one is pretty cool. And Shedinja with Nincada's colors, honestly pretty cool. It gives it a lot more of a ghostly appearance than it usually has, because it is a ghost type after all. And then Ninjask with the colors also looks pretty cool. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, real life cicadas are like grayish and green, so this actually incorporates those colors, which its normal colors do not. Moving on, we've got Makuhita and Hariyama. Hariyama is a little too vibrant, if I do say so myself. Makuhita, though, doesn't look too bad. Then we've got Meditite and Medicham. Switching their colors, it pretty much just makes it their shiny forms, now that I think about it, which I guess is why they made their shinies that way. And I just noticed something I said. I said switching their colors. I just need to make a point real quick. That's not the point of this video. It's not to switch their colors. It's just so that you can look at the final evolutions with the pre-evolutions colors and pretend that that's all part of the line with the regular pre-evolution. And then you can also see the pre-evolution with the final evolutions colors and pretend that's to go with the regular evolutions colors. So that doesn't make any sense. Instead of just having these two together with their colors swapped, This is supposed to be like, if this pink Meditite was the real one, and then that goes off regular Medicham, so that they're both pink and have the same colors. And then regular Meditite with its blue colors goes off this version of Medicham, so that they match. That's the purpose here. It's not just to switch their colors. Anyway, Skitty and Delcatty, not much really changes, because it's just pink to purple and purple to pink. Skitty, though, I honestly like it with pink more, because that's like a more cutesy color, and it is the cuter and smaller one. And it's kind of the inverse, like purple's the more royal color, and Delcatty's the older and evolved one, so their colors swapped from like a artistic perspective make more sense normally. Manectric and Electrike don't really change much, and again, well, not Manectric, but that is pretty much Electrike shiny, which is pretty cool. Manectric, though, I guess it kind of looks better with the blue, which I guess goes to show overall the whole line would look better if it was all blue. Anyway, here's Roserade. It is a Gen 4 Pokemon, but it evolves from a Gen 3 Pokemon, so it's here. And I didn't use Roselia or Budu because they didn't change much. And honestly, all that really changed here was its hair getting slightly paler, I guess, or like more yellow, and then its mask is yellow instead of green. Not much to really point out, but it's here anyway. Here's Swalot and Gulpin. I like Gulpin of the green more, and at the same time I also like Swalot of the green more, so I guess overall this line looks better with green, at least if you ask me. Moving on, we've got Sharpedo and Carvanha. I tried to give at least one layer, because Sharpedo has like 3 layered eyes for some reason. I gave the first layer white instead of black, because Carvanha's eyes do have white in the background. I'm kind of regretting that now, and overall it doesn't look too good. Carvanha does look good, though, with Sharpedo's colors, which, again, I guess that goes to show Carvanha and Sharpedo with that color scheme go well together, as opposed to Carvanha's color scheme, but that's just me. Moving on, we've got Baltoy and Claydol. Baltoy actually looks pretty cool with this. I was debating making its eyelids black, but that didn't look too good, because technically I should have, since Claydol's eyes are red, and its eyelids are probably black like its skin is, and Baltoy's eyes are closed, so they shouldn't be red because they're not open, but it looked better, so I just did that anyway. And then Claydol of Baltoy's colors, it looks decent. It kind of conveys the entire clay aspect more, because that's like a color that comes to mind, at least when I think of clay, which is tan. Then we've got the Trapinch line. Trapinch of Flygon's colors is alright. Vibraba's pretty decent, and then Flygon I actually think is really cool. A lot of, like, any color scheme that incorporates a lot of white or a lot of black and then another color is usually pretty cool. And for Flygon specifically, I kept its red visor things just because it looks cool. I don't know. I think that looks pretty cool. I don't know about you. Moving on anyway, we've got Camerupt and Numel. Camerupt looks a little weird just because the rocks became green, but that's just because the little earthy stuff, or that pattern on Numel's hump is green. So Camerupt, it's a little but Numel, though, honestly looks pretty cool. It definitely conveys the fire type more. Then we've got Whiscash and Barboach. Barboach honestly kind of looks like it's like a water electric type now, because the zigzag on it is now yellow to go with the little yellow W on Whiscash's head. Whiscash kind of looks cool. I'm kind of regretting making its eyes inverted, but that is what Barboach's eyes are, so I had to do it. If it wasn't for the eyes, this honestly wouldn't look too bad, because it's kind of like silver, which gives it a pretty cool color. Here's Spoink and Grumpig. Grumpig is kind of but Spoink is honestly pretty cool. The Black Pearl is definitely a neat addition to its design, I guess. Then we've got Lileep and Credilli. Really, it's just changing their body colors because everything else is the same. I will say, Credilli with the purple is better, and Lileep with the green is worse, which again just says that Lileep regularly has the better colors, and it would look better if it was this instead of this, which is the point of this video at this point, because unlike the other videos, now that I'm actually including the pre-evolutions with the evolutions colors, I can see, or we can see, or you can see which one would work best. If the actual colors were everyone follows the pre-evolutions color palette, or everyone follows the evolutions color palette. And in this case, I'd say Lileep's is a lot better with that purple. Anyway, here's my Lotad with whatever that Feebas's colors. Honestly, translating them onto my Lotad, it doesn't actually look ugly like it does on Feebas. It honestly looks like gold and silver, which is obviously really elegant and royal colors, which fits with my Lotad's character, so this honestly looks pretty cool. Then we've got Shuppet and Bayonet. Bayonet literally came out like what its shiny is, so not much to talk about there. And Shuppet doesn't look too bad with the pink eyes. It honestly looks pretty cool. And here's Dusclops and Dusk Noir with Duskull's colors. The main thing that changed is adding the pink, because Duskull's eyes, or singular eye, is pink, and then theirs just aren't. I personally think the pink eye makes them look a little better. I don't really know what it is. It just kind of is, I guess. However, I did take a little creative liberty with this one as well by making all of Dusk Noir's yellow portions pink as well, which also honestly looks kind of cool. It's kind of like it's bursting with a reddish energy, even though it's pink and not red. But they're pretty similar in color. Overall, I really like that Dusclops. Or not the Dusclops. Well, I like the Dusclops, but the Dusk Noir is really cool. Moving on, we've got Shingling and Chimecho. Chimecho looks a little weird, but Shingling honestly looks pretty cool. So again, in this case, if Shingling and Chimecho both had Chimecho's colors, it would look pretty good. Or at least if you ask me. Moving on, we've got the Snorunt line. Again, this is another split evolution one, so I did Snorunt twice. Snorunt with Frostlass's colors, it's alright, I guess. I definitely like it more with Glalie colors. I'm not sure what... I mean, I guess it kind of conveys the ice-type better with the blue and, like, the silvery colors. Glalie with Snorunt's colors, it honestly just looks like a chocolate chip cookie. So a little weird. However, Frostlass with Snorunt's colors, that is pretty cool. It honestly looks like it would be some kind of like desert or canyon regional form of Frostlass, like a rock-type version of it or something. I think that's pretty cool. Moving on, we've got the whole Clamperl line. Gorbis with Clamperl's colors really doesn't change much at all. I shouldn't have even included it. Huntail does change a lot, though, but I guess it kind of loses its personality because it becomes pink, and the whole point is that they're like the male and female ones, so Huntail being blue and Gorbis being pink kind of just makes sense. But I obviously got that pink color from Clamperl because the pearl portion, which like is the main part of it, I would assume, is pink. Anyway, I didn't do Clamperl with Gorbis's colors just because it didn't change much. But with Huntail's colors, it changed a lot. However, I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, it's a cool color scheme, it just doesn't really match the entire clam and pearl concept. And then last but not least, or maybe least, I don't know, we've got the Salamence line. Oops. Shelgon with Bagon's colors. One of the main things that changed is giving it regular eyes instead of like the yellow, and it's now white. Not the biggest fan of it, but it doesn't look bad. Salamence, though, honestly, it looks pretty cool. I don't know about you with Bagon's colors, and then Bagon of Salamence's colors. It's alright. I do like the regular one more, but definitely of these three, I think Salamence came out pretty good. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. We've got one more, and it's Armaldo and Anorith, and not much really changed here, but they don't suck. So, yeah, that's all for now. Next week, I'm obviously doing Sinnoh, and I'm going to keep doing this until everything is done. This series so far has actually been doing pretty well, so that's good. Hopefully this one does well as well. If not, oh well, I like making it. If you like this, thanks for watching, and consider liking and subscribing and commenting or whatever, and yeah, thanks.